What if we were raindrops in a storm cloud long ago, clinging to each other while as to...
Perhaps it's nothing went quite as planned. I was given the diagnosis of polycystic ovaries. I failed and I failed to ovulate. You are meant to be a mother. Your body is designed for it. That is what this part of the body is for. I felt as if I were a pincushion. Blood tests, samplings for glucose levels, pregnancy tests, and slow measure of medicine, morning temperatures taken with one wand, my urine daily with another. There was the month I turned to acupuncture, stretched on my back, staring up at a rough woven tapestry, my skin tingling at the sight of perforation. When I was pregnant, my fingers became pins, at least in the sense of tingling, and I would lumber to the bathroom with a mild form of hyperemesis, a semblance of oxymoron, of course, hyperemesis being severe morning sickness. And there was the threat of another needle in my arm, that of the IV to replace lost fluids. Instead, a daily purge, and I toddle on. There were the restless leg syndrome, the odd feeling of bugs or lightning in my elbow and shoulder, the bob in restaurants, and constant insomnia. I was a miserable pregnant woman, shocking my friends who had pictured me as an earth mama and told me so. Barefoot and fat and happy, my body was all wrong.
When you back out of the garage, it sounds like a music box. The kind of old-fashioned gift that old-fashioned gentlemen gave to old-fashioned ladies. But we are not old-fashioned, you and me. When we go out for a seafood boil, it's almost like a date. And we return early to our darkened house, the juice of crab and crawfish stuck in pores and clothes and hair. The dog is all over us. It was a horse chestnut a squirrel had hidden in your wheel well, the metallic percussive that sounded like chimes. You have a beautiful truck, unsullied by hauling. You worry about dings and dirt. I have a small car, loaded with the detritus of daily life, bags and to-go cups and empty cigarette boxes, a dog blanket and shed fur, and drool that stretches in arcs like Christmas garland. You worry about my little car, the amount I drive. You want me to invest in a crossover or a sensible Subaru. But what each of us invests in is not up to the other. You do not like this poem. You say it sounds corporate. It's the Subaru. Perhaps, like chimney, Subaru can never be used in a poem. You say it sounds like a pop song, and the implied comparison to Taylor Swift is unkind.
I wake from dreaming of plucking tiny crabs through the mesh of my daughter's armpits. Shaking off the dream, I rise to the day's list. Only later driving do I find myself thinking of her genetic testing next week, of the lab worker who will unravel her DNA, focus meticulous lenses on the precise place where my wall is breached, the unguarded hole through which crabs scuttled in to cling and pile up in my colon, womb, ovary, colon again. Will her wall be smooth and firm, or will the microscope reveal a chink, the crabs lining up, pinchers raised to pick at crumbling mortar?
My grandmother wore hats like pigeon turds and a pink elastic girdle unnecessarily, since there was nothing there to hold. Her skin, old crumpled paper, smoothed over 80 pounds of bone, wrapped tight and liver-specked with brown. Those hands fled three-quarter sleeves and fluttered anxiously in place, tapping absent rhythms on her daughter's chair, her fingers, birds, scared into service. Her dreams took flight inside knotted stockings, stuffed in dresser drawers, idled with her portrait, there among the lace, waiting 20 years to be made small enough to fit into a column listing next of kin.